Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Truth Serum Tuesday. So I am excited about tonight because the topic tonight is something that I have felt before in my life and have overcome it by the three things that I'm going to tell you tonight. So I'm excited about that. But before we get started, I wanted to just say, hey, Veronica, I wanted to just say thank you so much to the women in this Authentic Feminine Life group. And the reason I want to say thank you is because there was a post that was in this Authentic Feminine Life group today, and one of our own was reaching out for some understanding and support. And that takes a lot of bravery and courage. And what I saw was women that were supporting her in the way that she needed to be supported. And so that is such a remarkable thing to see. Hi, Celeste. Nice to have you joining us. And so when we rally around each other, hey, Leslie, when we rally around each other like you guys did today around this woman that needed some support, it just made my heart kind of burst, because that is the number one reason why I created this group. No one was judgmental. No one was offering her or giving her advice. They were just offering suggestions that had worked for them. And that is the best support anyone could ask for, because again, then we know that we're not alone in some of these things that we go through every single day, or periods of life when we feel like things aren't really going maybe the way, or we're confused or perplexed or any of those things. So I just really wanted to say thank you so much to the women that supported our own today, and encourage all of you who may be having days that aren't quite feeling right, or you're feeling like, oh, I could use some support. I would encourage you to post it in this Authentic Feminine Life, because this community is all about supporting each other in the ways that we need support. So I just want to say thanks again so much to all of you, and for being a part of this group and supporting each other during this process. The other thing I want to say is that if you're in the Redding area, so I live in Redding, California, which is Northern California, and we're the Girls Incorporated group, in which I volunteer for and I'm a facilitator for, is hosting the Embrace documentary at the Cascade Theater. So if you haven't already found out about that, it's going to be on April 21st. You can go to the Cascade Theater website, and I'll post it in the comments below for you so that you can go and do that. And then you can come and see this Embrace video. I think you can find the trailers on YouTube or on the internet. It's really about how we as women work through body image, and how that makes us feel throughout our whole entire lives at different stages. So if you're interested in that, please go check out the trailer. Go buy the tickets. I think they're only $10. So it's really super reasonable. I will be there, and I can't wait to see all of you there. So we did the thank you thing. I'm just trying to keep my thoughts. I'm feeling a little bit foggy today because I've been sick with some kind of sinus cold or whatever. So bear with me, be patient with me. I would so appreciate it. So tonight's topic, first of all, before I go into tonight's topic, I want to ask a couple of questions. And so those of you that are on here, or even those of you that come on later and don't watch the live, please push the thumbs up or the hearts and put the comments below to the questions I'm going to ask. So how many of you have ever looked at either someone else's life or looked at an experience on TV and thought, oh, I feel like I'm really missing out on something. I feel like if I don't do that, I'm going to miss out. If I don't do this other thing, I'm going to miss out. Or maybe you are so worried or have anxiety about whether you're doing the right thing. Well, if I did this other thing, I don't know if I would get this other result, or will I get the same result? And so you continue to have this anxiety of this fear of missing out. And that's kind of what that is what we're talking about tonight. It's called the fear of missing out. So people call it sometimes FOMO. That's like this abbreviation. And I was thinking about this topic because I did go to a business conference. I think it was last week. Yeah, last week. And it just brought up a lot of thoughts for me. And I wondered if any other women have felt this way. And if you have felt this way. Because oftentimes we get caught up in finding or thinking about what we're not doing enough of instead of what we are doing enough of. And that makes us have other feelings about not being enough, not being a good enough mom, not being a good enough wife, not being a good enough employee. I could always do better. The shoulds all come in there. And then we just start getting down on ourselves. So I really wanted to talk about this topic. So I'm wondering, push yes in the comments or type yes in the comments below if any of you have ever had this fear of missing out. And let me know. I don't know how good the connection is, but hopefully some more people will join us. But the 3 of us or the 4 of us that are here right now, let me know. There have been times in life when I've heard women say over and over and over again, I don't know if I need to be doing something different. Or I had someone say to me, I know all the things that you're talking about, I just don't know why I can't implement them. Like, I know I'm supposed to do them, but I don't really do them. And what stops us or what blocks us from moving forward and essentially living the life you want to be living. And a lot of times that's all about this fear of missing out. So I had a woman that I was talking to the other day, and she was really confused. And she was trying to make a decision about her life and about something that she wanted to do in her life. And she didn't know what to choose. And so we went through this process, and she was afraid that if she didn't choose the right thing, that she was going to miss out. She was going to miss out on either being with her friends or miss out on an opportunity. And so one of the 3 things that I want to talk about tonight that you can start doing immediately to kind of decrease or end this fear of missing out. The first one is to stop comparing to other people or to other things or to other ways of life. And when we have a comparison, well, I'm wondering how many of you have compared yourself to other people? Like, how many moms do we have on here? Or how many single parents might we have on here? Or how many of you have multiple responsibilities, right? You're taking care of kids, you're working, you're taking care of the household, you're doing all of these things, and you might find that other people seem to do it with more ease. And the one thing we have to remember about comparing ourselves is that we often don't see the whole picture for the other person. So what we see is an external picture, and we say, oh, well, I want that way of being. But oftentimes there are things behind this external picture that we don't see and that we don't know about. So when you compare yourself to other moms, or when you compare, like, say you're a businesswoman, you're an entrepreneur, and I've been guilty of comparing myself to other businesses, right? Or when I'm trying to find out how I can make my life better, I look externally. Hey, Karen, nice to have you. So when you look at this external way of looking for things, then we miss what's on the inside. So when you're comparing, one of the things I want to ask is, what do you think that you're missing, or what do you want that you already have in your life? Because when we're comparing, we're thinking that we have less than, or they have something, or there's something that we want that will make us better, when internally we already have that within us. So the first one is like, stop making comparisons. Stop making your comparisons to other people that you see. Now, if someone has joy, and you're like, oh, I would like more joy in my life, you can ask them like how they have joy in their life. And then don't just adopt what they're doing, but see how that fits with you. so that you can sustain this movement. You can remove the blocks that say, oh, what don't I have, instead of what I do already have in my life. So you're kind of flipping the switch. So the first one is stop making comparisons. And also maybe you can stop making some comparisons that equal in more negative thoughts and kind of those tapes that play with yourself. So, well, I never used to do this before, and now I'm doing it, and so I can't believe this. I should have never started doing this. So you don't want to go down that road. You can evaluate what's happening in your life, and then you can say, okay, this is how authentically I want to be living. So you're going to stop making comparisons and see, what do you want that you already have? So that's the first question, or the first thing you're going to do. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to start saying no to things that don't match your way or your authentic way of living for you. The other thing with the fear of missing out is that sometimes we feel that if we don't participate in everything, maybe people won't think that we care. Or maybe people won't think that we have, I don't know, just whatever. I mean, how many of you have said yes to lots and lots of things, and then you're like, oh, well, I am so busy. I don't have time to do what I really maybe need to be doing or want to be doing. I don't have time for the people I want to be spending time with in my life that are a priority to me. And then you end up missing out on the most important things of life because you're so busy on external things of life. So let me know if that's making sense to you, or if any of you really can get this kind of concept, right? So when you say no to things, it allows you to make room for your way of authentic living that's true to you. So I have a lot of gifts and I have a lot of skills. And there's a lot of volunteer things I could be doing. And it took me a long time to volunteer for Girls Inc. because I wanted to make sure that that was in alignment with what I do. And I wanted to make sure that I committed. Because at any point in time, when I'm with those girls in that group, I want to be present with them. And it can be such a powerful thing not to say, oh, how long until this is over? Oh, I have to go and do this right now. And oh, all of these things, and kind of build your own resentments when you're the one that made the choice in the first place. So saying no to things that don't match your authentic living. And in business, you know, the other thing for that is if you're an entrepreneur, there's all of these things or ways that you could be doing business. But once you focus in on that one way or a couple of ways that match in your business, match the way that you want to run your business, then you start having this focus and you start producing these quality products that people want. Hey, Jeannie, nice to have you. So when we're talking about saying no to things, I want you to ask yourself, why do I say yes to so many things? Really take a moment to be still in that question. What is it that the busyness does for me? Because we keep being busy and getting external stuff so that we can oftentimes avoid internal cues. I mean, so I'm sick. This is the second time in like 2 months I've been sick. This is an internal cue to say, knock, knock, Rachel. You know, you need to make sure that you're taking time for yourself. You need to make sure that you're getting out in nature. All of those things are things I need to keep myself healthy so that I can make this positive impact. And it's the same thing in your personal life. There's no such thing about not having enough time for your children. There's no such thing about not having enough time for your spouse. You choose. This is the empowerment piece. You choose. And if you make a choice that doesn't match in your heart, then choose differently. Jeannie says, boy, I chimed in at the right time. Yeah, that's a sign. Are you guys getting like what I'm saying? Like, you get to choose. I was working with someone today, and I don't know if any of you can associate with this, but it was a young adult, and they currently live with their parents. And there's some things going on. I mean, they're an adult, like 18. Excuse me. And the mom was like, well, you either do what I need you to do and contribute at home, or you get to move out. And the young adult was like, well, I have to. No, you don't have to. You choose. You choose. It doesn't mean anything about you if you choose for you. It means that you are important. As many times as people ask to have my time, to go to lunch, to go to coffee, I can't resent how I'm spending my time if I don't say, I'm sorry, if you want to call me up and make an appointment, I'd love to do that with you and I can help you that way, but this is the way I make my living. It doesn't mean I don't care about that person. It doesn't mean I don't care or aren't concerned about them. But if I give away all my time for free, I don't have a business. And so you choose. If you're looking for someone to support you, if you're looking for someone to be a mentor, I can do that for you. And I'm just going to be straight up about it. Like, I'm not going to be bashful about that anymore. If you're ready to do the work, I'm here to help you. And we go around and when we choose to continue to suffer and suffer and suffer and suffer, and we don't make the time, or maybe you have fear. Maybe you're not really wanting to see what's on the inside because that means something about you. All it means is that you're suffering. And when you're ready to choose to end your suffering, you can do that. So we stop making comparisons. That's the first thing. You stop making comparisons about your business if you're an entrepreneur, what someone else is doing, or what you're not doing, or there's tons of coaching businesses that make like $20,000 a month. I'm not going to compare myself to them. I'm not them and they are not me. I find what my business does. You find what your business does. You find what your life does. And then you look and you say, what do I want that I already have? Then you say no to things that don't match your authentic living. Because when you say no, maybe you've been taught that means all of these negative things about you, or that you're selfish, or that you don't care. That's not what it means. And if people feel that way, then obviously they need to make some adjustments, but you're not responsible for the way other people feel. They're responsible for that. You choose how you live. There's no have tos. I have to go to work today. No, you don't. I have to stay married. No, you don't. I have to get a divorce. No, you don't. That's the plain fact of it. Don't cause yourself to stay in suffering anymore. Take the action. Free yourself. You choose. The third one is going to be to focus on you and trust yourself. Stop looking for external answers. I talked about this last time, and this is one of the things that's consistent in all of my messages. If I'm constantly looking for external factors to then not make me feel a certain way, then I have a fear of missing out, that if I don't participate in this, I won't feel this way. Well, you start here in the center, in the core of you, and say, how do I want to feel? That then dictates your behavior. That then dictates your decisions. So you have no fear of missing out because you are solid, and this is exactly where I'm supposed to be, doing what I'm supposed to be doing this moment. When you focused on yourself, you're present. If I'm worried about other people's businesses and how much they're doing compared to how much I'm doing, I'm not focused on me. I'm not focused on my business. I'm not focused on my clients. It's the same for you. If you have this fear of what you need to do next, or that you're going to miss out on something, you're not focused with your kids. You're not present. Focus on you. And this way of being allows you to open and be free in so many other ways. It's a remarkable process over and over. And trusting yourself. That was the most beautiful thing about today on This Authentic Feminine Life. Is that those women trusted themselves to know how to share their experience with someone else that might lift them up. And it gives me goosebumps. I mean, it's like, so honestly, it's just kick ass. So when you are able to focus on you and trust your divine knowing, hey, Amy, then you're able to know what is right for you. There's no fear of missing out. If I know what is right for me, I don't have a fear of missing out on what's going on over there. Because I have peace and contentment within me. The other thing is trusting you. Trusting yourself. When you trust yourself, your own divine knowing what is right for you, there's no more fear. There's no more wondering what would happen if I, right? So Karen, I love it when Karen's on here. Karen, kick ass. I love you. Okay, so Karen's like, stop making comparisons. Learn to say no if it doesn't match your business or your life. Yeah, you're authentic. And focus on you and trust yourself. Right. No one knows you better than you know yourself. And if you need to know yourself better, private message me and I can help you. So 3 things you can implement, 3 ways you can start being that you will see immediate decrease in this fear of missing out, this feeling of anxiety, right? Anxiety is what you think is going to happen that hasn't even happened yet. You worry, anticipation has some anxiety to it, all those things, right? So you can decrease your anxiety by stop making comparisons. Say no to things that don't match your authentic way of living. And you're going to focus on you and trust you. If you don't focus on you and trust yourself, then how do you make decisions? You're constantly confused, constantly wondering, which causes anxiety because you're constantly doubting. The more you know yourself, the more free you'll be in your life. Okay, so let me know if any of you are going to take some steps within the next week to decrease your fear of missing out. So put yes in the comments or thumbs up or hearts if you're willing to do something for yourself. One of these 3 things: stop making comparisons, say no to things that don't match your authentic way of living, and focus on you and trust in yourself so that you can release some of these anxieties. And then I want to encourage you with a quote. And this is an interesting quote. So the quote is, and think about this as far as it's related to the fear of missing out, because it's really interesting. It's a Danielle Laporte quote, which all of you know I love her. And this is the quote: excessive expectations block fulfillment. Excessive expectations block fulfillment. So when I have excessive expectations about what my life is supposed to look like, when I have excessive expectations in comparing myself to others and thinking I should be just like, I should have this or that, I should feel one way or another way, you rob yourself of fulfillment. So see how this quote can really inspire and empower you to choose. Choose how you are presently. Know that all of you do a great job of being a mom, of being a grandma, of being a sister, of being a wife, of being a friend. You are enough already. This is my thing. You are enough already. Stop having these excessive expectations of yourself that may not even have to do anything except cause you suffering. Choose the way you want to be living. You get to choose. So I know that this time was a little bit less maybe energetic, and I appreciate your support while I'm trying to like work through these thoughts with this clogged up head. But I appreciate all of your support. Thank you so much to the women in this Authentic Feminine Life that make this group such a remarkable group to be a part of. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to, if you live in the Reading area, go to the Cascade Theater website. We're having that. The Girls Incorporated is putting on the Embrace documentary. The tickets are $10. It's going to be on April 21st. Go on the internet and watch the trailer if you're wondering really what it's all about and some specifics. I'm going to be there. I hope to see you there. Also, feel free that if you're ready to stop suffering, if you're ready to not just stop hearing all these things, and you're ready to start living these things, give me a call. The number's on my website. You can private message me through Facebook, and let's see if maybe it would be good to work together. So if you're ready to change these things, if you're ready to take action, then I'm probably going to be able to help you. So I hope that you all have a great night. Thank you so much for all your support. Remember that if you're even, oh my gosh, can I talk? If you're not watching this live, please comment anyway. We're here so that we can support each other. We want to support you. And so make sure that you comment, that you participate. Stay active in this group. This group is full of awesome women. We have 185 members now. I'm hoping to reach 200 by the end of the month. So if you can share this site, if you can share with your friends on Facebook, anyone who you may feel would want to be encouraged the same way, if you find this inspiring, I would love to have them join. So take care. I will look for you next Tuesday on the True Serum Tuesday. I love you all and thank you all for your support. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Mwah.